The ALS doc said, I don't think you have ALS, but we're going to continue to do all the testing. And he said, I want you to sit in front of one of our speech pathologists. And so she happened to have a 9:30 appointment open that Monday morning. Within 45 minutes, she had me diagnosed. Primary progressive apraxia speech. Let's take that word by word. Primary means the speech is first affected. Progressive means it gets nothing but worse. Apraxia is when you know what to say, it just doesn't, the wires are messed up, and speech. So primary progressive apraxia speech. It's very rare, way less than the one in a million. So there's like 250, 300 people in the United States with this condition. I'm going to be part of the study. I was there in September as part of the study. There are only 28 people in the study. I'm the third youngest one. They've been studying this for 12 years, and they've only had 100 people through the study. They discovered this condition in 2010. What they found was people, they used to lump it in with aphasia, which is you don't know what to say. So there's a big difference between aphasia and apraxia. So they lumped it in with aphasia, and they discovered that people know what's going on, and so they diagnosed this subset in 2010. So back to the hospital, Mayo, we hadn't heard about it, nor had anybody else. My speech therapist had not heard about it. So we read up on it over the lunch hour and just went in the car and just cried. We were there for the whole week. So to continue with the ALS testing, and then they wanted some baseline numbers as far as this condition. And I was diagnosed with, it was confirmed by a PET scan on Wednesday morning. I took the PET scan.
Yeah.
They dumped all kind of radioactive stuff in me. And then Wednesday afternoon, it was confirmed I had PPAOS.
Yeah. So just to frame this up, because sometimes it's hard to understand the time frames. You're referencing August and September right now. That would be over a year ago, or just recently?
Just recently, August of 2021. I was.
Okay, so just for our listeners, it's November now, so it was only 3 or 4 months ago that all.
Right. June 21st was diagnosed. I was diagnosed. The longest day of the year. The longest day of the year for me and my wife.
I'll bet.
Right.
So I can't imagine. I mean, I've had stuff where I didn't know what was wrong with me for a little while. Mm-hmm. Small stuff, it turns out. You know, when you don't know what it is, there's a lot of anxiety.
Right.
I can't imagine having an intractable, unsolvable, unidentified problem, and then learning of the consequences of this condition. You mentioned that you did a lot of crying the day that you found out, but you haven't shared with us today the serious penalty of having this condition. Right.
My life expectancy is at 10 to 15 years. I'm 45 right now. I'm gonna not get to meet my grandkids. That just devastates me. So
break this down for us, Tim. You have this you have this thing called apraxia that's getting worse all the time. It's robbing you of your speech, but somehow it's going to kill you.
Right.
How does that?
So I asked Neil what the end game looks like, and they said you're going to lose the ability to swallow, and then aspiration into the lungs, and it causes infections. The other thing, falling down. I will have motor function skills, lack of skills towards the end. So
somehow speech, how the brain functions with regard to speech is directly can be chased to life expectancy through this condition called apraxia.
right. But because it says brain degenerative disease, so
Okay.
it eats away the brain, and eventually there's
So the falling away of your speech is actually a symptom and an obvious one of what's
right.
happening on the inside. Without that symptom, we might not have even known. I mean, you mentioned stress earlier, and you thought it was
Right.
job related.
Yep.
And we don't know what causes this primary progressive apraxia condition.
They don't know if it's hereditary or just the luck of the draw. There's no treatment, no cure, other than speech therapy, which I do once a month.
Do you feel like the speech therapy is helping at all?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, good.
Because Mayo told me 4 things: eat right, exercise, and stay social, and talk a lot.
Same thing they probably tell everybody.
Yeah, right. So I'm talking a lot.